You've been seeking answers from every dermatologist, doctor, and all over the internet wondering what on earth this unbearable skin issue is. You know something's up, and you've been suffering and silenced for far too long. This podcast is going to bring awareness to the brutal reality that is topical steroid addiction and withdrawal syndrome. It will give you practical mental and physical tips to help you along your journey and provide you the strength you need to push through each day. You'll hear from real people battling this illness, as well as experts in the field, and I'm also going to share with you what's happening as I battle and conquer TSW. You are not alone, you're not crazy, and you will heal. If there's one thing I know, it's that anyone going through this hell is a warrior. My name is Jennifer Powers, and I welcome you to TSW Journey to Healing.
Hey, what's up? You're back. It's great to have you here. So I told you that I was going to take you back because I am in my 6th month of TSW at the time of this episode, but since I only started recording when I was entering month, I believe 4, I had that beginning period where I know it's very important and I documented things as best I can, as I've said many times to you. If you haven't already, make sure you're taking photos, videos, writing things down, journaling things out. This is really, really important. And if nothing else, it's very cool to see your progress over time. And so there are so many symptoms, debilitating symptoms of topical steroid withdrawal. And they can be things like the burning and weeping skin, flaking and shedding of your skin, the peeling, the redness, the wrinkling, the elephant skin is what we call it, super thin skin, pus-filled bumps, cracked skin, ungodly itchy skin, nodules and pain and insomnia, and then there's hair loss, and there's the body thermoregulation, fatigue, depression, the list goes on. And we will get to every single one of these in multiple episodes. But the one I want to focus on today is the swollen lymph nodes that can occur. Now, I don't recall exactly when I noticed my swollen lymph nodes, but let me just tell you, for someone, I think every single person out there in this universe knows at least someone that has had that C word, and the C word I'm talking to is cancer. And sometimes when we think of cancer, we think of tumors or cysts, things that are like hard or like balls under the skin, or things that even show up as raised lumps, okay? And so when I first discovered the swollen lymph nodes, which were on the left and the right side of my neck, where my neck meets my kind of like my collarbone by my shoulder, not by my shoulder, but right when my neck at the bottom. I think I was in the bathroom. I had just brushed my teeth one morning. I turned my head one way, and I don't know if I was putting my hair in a ponytail or something, but I remember pressing down on my neck for some reason and freaking out. And I was like, okay, well, that was not there the day before. What is that? Like, oh my gosh. And of course, your brain starts going a mile a minute. You start rushing to computer, WebMD. Oh my gosh, what does this mean if I feel like swollen lumps or whatever? And then thank God for the ItSan Facebook group, because it has saved me more times than I can count from losing my sanity and from getting some kind of relief. The reality, with not to go off a tangent here, but when you're going through something that is so not well known, not well studied, not, it's really not given any credit yet. There's people are very dismissive of this condition. I know that, hopefully 20 something years from now, this will not at all be the case. Hopefully way sooner than that. But you're going everywhere you can to find answers. And sometimes crowdsourced information, the people in the trenches, the people that are the testimonials of going through what you're going, that's your best source of answers. And disclaimer, not at all here to say that doctors are not highly important and where you should go for your true, honest medical opinions, advice, recommendations, diagnosis. I'm not saying that. But I am saying it has been a saving grace. It's been the most amazing thing for me to get so much help, so many amazing products suggested, and just ears to listen to me, shoulders to cry on. I mean, obviously virtually is what I mean, but just so much great information. So when I noticed in the mirror that, and when I was feeling my neck and I was freaking out, of course I turned to the Facebook group, as well as, of course, all the other places on the internet. And I noticed them in my neck, but then I also noticed them in like the groin area, kind of right, I don't want to say where a woman's like ovaries are, but kind of down there. Now, I had a C-section. I have one son, and I had my C-section. I mean, he just turned 11, so that long ago. And I even remember at one point that the right side of my C-section scar, from, I guess, being scratched and clawed at, it almost was like opening up. So obviously that's not really a lymph node thing. That's more of an episode that we'll talk about the bone deep itching. By the way, if I'm slurring my words or if I sound kind of nasal or whatever right now, it is 2:12 in the morning. Yes, that's correct. At the time of this recording, all of the day it's going to be released. So yeah, today's the release date. It is Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. And shocker, I am not sleeping. But I will tell you, this is not the regular norm these days. I have had a couple rough nights where I'm not getting much sleep, but about a week ago I actually was getting sleep. So again, I'm digressing here. We will talk about sleep and insomnia on another day, another time, another episode. But that's why if I sound a little bit whatever, that's why. So where were we? So I noticed them in the base of my neck, one on the left, one on the right. I do think I actually recall feeling behind definitely my left ear. I'm not sure about both ears, but I definitely had the swollen lymph nodes there. They were very shortly lived, or sporadic, but the ones at the base of my neck and the ones in my like groin area, they were prominent for like months. Like months. So when of course I'm Googling, try not to freak myself out. I did actually go in September, or maybe it was October of 2021, before I was officially starting my topical steroid withdrawal recovery. I was going to the dermatologist to try and figure out what the heck this was. You know, I knew it wasn't just bad eczema, but of course that's what they're telling me. But I did get a skin biopsy, and it was on the left side, right, like kind of like under my arm, almost like in the armpit, but not exactly, almost like the crease of where you lift your arm up. So they biopsied my skin there, and I just remember thinking, oh, well, this sucks, but they're just going to, I guess, see what kind of eczema this is or what's going on. And when the doctor said, well, yeah, we're doing that, but we're also going to check for lymphoma, I was shocked. Like, I don't know, in my head, I mean, lymphoma wasn't a skin thing. It's a blood thing, right? It's a blood cancer. And I wasn't thinking about that, but apparently, this like really, really bad eczema, I forget what she told me the percentage was, but she said, yes, it is a likelihood. You have an increased likelihood or increased chance of developing lymphoma. And I was shocked. I did not know that. So now, fast forward a month or 2 months, and I'm noticing these lymph nodes that are swollen, and I'm thinking lymph node, lymphatic system, lymphoma, all these words are, and I'm going, oh my God. God help me. I hope to God I'm okay. This is scary. So I think I tried to spit this out of my mouth like 10 times by this point, but I go to the ITSAN Facebook group and I typed in the word, I typed my question in first, but of course then I went to the search bar and I type in lymph nodes, and sure enough, there's a ton of things that pop up. So many people asking, is this part of the process? Is this normal? Should I be worried? And the feedback was, it's always so helpful. So what I came to learn, what maybe you are trying to figure out yourself, or maybe you learned as well, is that for the longest time, our immune systems had been suppressed, right? They were suppressed because of the steroids that we were using over all this time. So what's happening now is when your lymph nodes are swollen, they are going into overdrive to produce white blood cells. And it's hard, right? You can try to gently massage them to actually help them drain. But that's what they're doing, right? If they're hurting you, which like fortunately mine never hurt me, it could be that they are backed up and kind of clogged with all the white blood cells. So you don't want to like be too rough. You want to be gentle. I'm a huge fan of the dry brush. I mostly was a fan during months 1 through 3. Oh my gosh, that thing it went everywhere with me. It was in my bag when I went, out for a drive. After I went in the car, it was next to my nightstand on my bed, by my bed every single night. It was mostly used for me to itch my skin when it was crawling all over and I couldn't get to the itch. But the thing about a dry brush is it's incredible for the lymphatic system. So dry brushing, yes, it's amazing for the itching. It's also excellent for exfoliating your skin. And what it does is it unclogs the pores in the exfoliation process, but it also helps detoxify your skin by increasing blood circulation and promoting lymph flow and drainage. So it's just easier. It becomes easier for your body to sweat or just eliminate toxins that are in your system. And it does a whole bunch of other great things. And I will link to a blog article, the blog that I have about this in the show notes below. But one of the other things that I love about it, amongst the many things, is that it stimulates the nervous system. And as we all know, TSW is there's a lot of nerve damage, a lot of nerve issues that are going on for us. So it can make you feel good because it has that additional benefit of stimulating your nervous system. So what can you do with these swollen lymph nodes? Well, the answer really is nothing really. With TSW, we all are saying all the time that time is your friend. Time is the biggest healer here. However, there are a few things like dry brushing that you can do to kind of help soothe them, especially if they're kind of sore, they're bothering you in some way. And so another suggestion that I would have for you is a lymphatic massage, a lymphatic drainage massage. You can do this, by the way, manually. You don't need to go to a spa or masseuse or anybody like that. Although I got to tell you, for your mental health, for your self-love, self-care, getting a massage, get one and get one more regularly. Don't look at that like that's a luxury, because it is part of self-care. And there are so many benefits to massage, but another story for another day. A lymphatic drainage massage, also could be called like a manual lymphatic drainage. What it does is it relieves the swelling that happens when, in this case TSW, but it could be anything like an illness, when it blocks your lymphatic system. So this kind of massage involves gently manipulating specific areas of your body to help lymph move to an area with working lymph vessels. So all that to say that it's great. I got one done for the first time actually myself, not that long ago. I believe it was March 2022. And I didn't even really know, to be honest with you. I mean, always getting deep tissue massages or Swedish massages or, other kinds, foot reflexology. I saw that as an option listed here in the menu of massage options, a lymphatic drain. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I never even knew that was a thing. Let me try it. And it was amazing. Totally amazing. Obviously, because massages just are amazing in general. But the woman, the masseuse, had turned my head so far to one side and just did a ton of strokes with my neck and did it to the other side, and I felt amazing after. So if you're not in the position financially that you can get a professional massage done, lymphatic drainage massage done, you actually can do this, perform something similar, or do it yourself. And the way you do that is you place your hands, make your hands flat, and you place them on either side of your neck, just right under your ears. And you're going to gently stretch the skin back and away from your face and pull it down. And then you're going to release. And you're going to try to massage your neck in a very slow and gentle way, following that rhythm about 10 to 15 times. There are, of course, tools out there, but your hands are God's tools that he gave to you, okay? So if they're not too cracked from your TSW, if they're not too burning, if they don't hurt you too much, skin to skin, even though it's your own skin on your skin, is magic, okay? So if, to summarize this episode, if you are experiencing swollen lymph nodes, I want to encourage you to take a deep breath and not to panic or freak out, because it is a very, very, very common symptom of TSW. That being said, if for whatever reason you are very alarmed, something does seem a bit off, of course, make an appointment with your doctor, go get it checked out. Always better safe than sorry. But these are some things that I would recommend for you. The dry brush is amazing. I will link that in the show notes below, as well as if you go to the website, tswjourneytohealing.com, under the shop in the navigation tab, you will see shop, and you should see something that says body and skin, or something of that nature. If you look in there, you will see a ton of resources and a ton of suggestions. The dry brush is absolutely listed in there as well. And then the other big tip is to either do it yourself or go get it done, a lymphatic drainage massage. Highly recommended. I give it 2 thumbs way up. So I hope you found this episode helpful. If you know anyone that needs to hear this message, please share. And if you also haven't done this already, please subscribe to the show, whether you're listening on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, Apple, wherever. Please, I would love you to subscribe to the show, rate and review it, leave feedback. That is the best way we're going to help this show get out and in front of many, many more people, because sharing is caring, and we need to help a lot of other people out there that are suffering and don't know where to go for answers. I hope to provide a lot of them in this show and lots of resources for you along the way. So I hope and I pray that your journey is going well. If you're battling and struggling and facing a lot of difficulty right now, there is hope. Hang on. We're here for you. We're cheering for you. I certainly am. I want to thank you very much for being here. I'm Jennifer Powers, your host, and thank you for listening to TSW Journey to Healing. See you on the next episode.